Hey, Mary, I don't know if you're still here, but thanks for dropping by, even though you're at work. All right. So, the intention behind this tonight, we're going to do the Legendary District Union a little bit later. What I've done with this character, now this is my character that does not have any watch levels applied, so this is one of my alt characters. I do use the scavenging points, but you'll notice that there's 800 points waiting to be spent on the 4 quadrants, so nothing's actually been spec'd into. This is the character that I typically do my YouTube videos with, where I don't want the benefit of the watch, so that when you guys put a build together, it's going to outperform what you're seeing on screen. And give me 1 second. My fat head is too big. In its. There, that's better. So what I've done is this character currently has 1 loadout. It's got a skill build. That's it. So any builds that we're going to need tonight, we're going to have to put together. So it's a question of how do you go about putting a build together? What kind of things are you thinking about? How do you build toward your goal of whatever that happens to be? So we're going to start with, now what makes this slightly more challenging is the fact that there's no watch levels applied to the character. So I'm missing out on 10% headshot damage, crit chance, weapon handling, the skill damage, skill repair, all of that, those sorts of things. So it makes it more challenging, but it doesn't mean that it's impossible to do. And this also makes the point that you can do this type of content if you have a good team at any point, really, once you've hit level 40. That's the intention behind this. And it's also, from a content creator perspective, I put builds together, I test them, I do a lot of things behind the scenes. But anybody can do this. Anybody can put a build together without having to go to YouTube to see how to do it. It's just a question of what questions do you need to ask, and what order do you do it, and what are you building around, basically. So we're going to start easy. And when I say easy, it's relatively easy. In order to do legendaries, you need a DPS build. It needs a funny way to word it, but you want a DPS build. A good team is also going to need a healer. They're going to need a tank, and they're going to need crowd control of some form. So those are the 4 builds we're going to put together tonight. In a lot of cases, the builds are going to revolve around gear sets because they're very powerful for these types of things. So for a DPS build, hey Lazarus, for a DPS build, your max DPS is going to come from a Strikers build. So that's the premise that we're starting with, is we're going to need a 4-piece Strikers build. And then what else are you going to need to go along with that? As a DPS shooter, there's other things to consider. Is, do I want to help benefit the rest of the team, i.e. am I going to use coyotes? What if I don't have coyotes? So now it's back to, I need to buff myself. So let's start with the 4 pieces of Strikers. Now what I've done is I've transferred most, if not all, of my gear into my stash from my other main character. So the gear is here available to use. So we shouldn't have to go, we're going to have to craft some. I don't think we're going to have to farm for anything, but that's basically what we're at. So with Strikers, your backpack and chest piece are where your biggest damage comes from. The backpack is problematic because that takes you up to 200 stacks, but it increases the rate at which they bleed down. So it's really difficult sometimes to maintain those 200 stacks. So your backpack is the key piece behind it. So let's grab that first. Also, as a DPS build, we want to make sure that we're leaning into weapon damage, not armor. Now, I do have some armor pieces for Strikers, but ultimately what we want in this case is weapon damage, and this one happens to have crit damage. We're also going to use the gloves. I may have them on me, but we will check and see here. Am I looking directly at them already? The knee pads. And the holster. So those are the 4 pieces of strikers that we're going to start with. And we'll get to the specialization in a second. Now you can see in this case, I actually do have an armor piece, but it's the premise behind this is max DPS, so we want the weapon damage. So we now have our 4 pieces of strikers. So what that gives us is weapon handling, rate of fire, and then striker's gamble. Weapon hits increase total weapon damage by 0.65%, stacking up to 100 times. And then it defines the loss of those stacks. The backpack is risk management. It increases the weapon damage gain per stack from 0.65 to 1%. So we can double our weapon damage output. That's the reason Strikers is so powerful for this. The rate of fire and the weapon handling are awesome. We're going to end up running an assault rifle for this. So now what we need to do is figure out what we're going to run for our mask and our chest, and then what we're going to run for our main weapons. The easy one is the secondary. For that, we're going to want, and I don't know that I have on it here, we're going to want an ACS-12 or the rock and roll for the named one. We're going to go with this, and I'm going to use the St. Elmo's because of its benefits. Whoops. St. Elmo's is probably going to get us to where we need to go better than any other weapon in the game because of the mods that are on the weapon. We get 20% crit damage, 20% weapon handling, and 20% crit chance, and there's nothing else in the game even remotely close. So again, if you're playing the season, play as much open world content as you possibly can to get your watch levels up to the point that you can get this. It happens at level 90, so anybody can get this weapon. It's just a question of grinding out the watch levels to get it. So we're going to go with that. We're going to use the ACS-12. The ACS-12 is used to get your striker stacks up quickly because the pellets per shot is 8, and each of those applies if they're all on target. They all provide a hit, which all adds your stacks of strikers. So generally speaking, in 1 or 2 mags, you can be at full stacks, and then you switch to your main, and off you go. So from a stats perspective, right now with our main, we're at 32% crit chance and 69% crit damage. So we need to bring our crit chance up. What's the next question then would be, what's the best way to get our crit chance level up quickly? It would be 2 pieces of Providence or 1 piece of Cheska. So let's see what we have for Cheska, and we're going to use the mask. I think we're going to use the mask, because I'm pretty sure I've got a perfectly rolled Cheska mask. So we're going to throw that into the mix. Now where are we at? Well, we're at 48% chance and 81% damage. So anything we add that happens to have crit chance already rolled on it, assuming that it's maxed, is going to take us to 54% crit chance, which is right where we want to be. So our next choice is less important than this choice. And the reason that Cheska takes us up that quickly is the brand set bonus is 10% crit chance, and then we've got another 6% rolled on top of that. So there were 21% crit chance just by throwing that piece into the mix. We are running an assault rifle, so Fenris would certainly be an option because that increases our weapon damage. So I've got a piece on here with spotter. It's not fantastically rolled. We could optimize that, so that is certainly an option. We've got this Grupo piece, and this is kind of the direction that I'm going. I've got two Grupo pieces that are basically perfectly rolled. I know from playing that focus is going to give us our maximum amount of damage. The pristine example is the Araldi piece, the named one that has perfect focus, and on a higher end build, that's probably the direction I would go. But we're going to actually pick, I'm going to go with Obliterate, and I'll explain why. Well, the focus ultimately gives you more damage, but you have to have the ability to change the scope on your primary weapon because you require a scope with 8 times magnification or higher, which is the CQBSS scope, which is the one with the round, it's a post and a circle in the center, 8 power. Or you have to use the sniper scope, basically. But I find with that one, the field of view is not big enough. The 8 power CQBSS scope is the best choice. That will give us ultimately more damage. Having said that, if we're running the St. Elmo's, its scope, it's not magnified. So even though you can bring up a scope, it doesn't have a magnification power, so it will not proc focus. So we're going to go with Obliterate, which is probably, other than focus, it's my favorite damage talent. And the reason for Grupo, so here's the pristine example, just as an example with perfect focus. Again, we are not going to use it simply because we're not using an assault rifle that we can change the scope on. So now, without mods, we've just put together, basically put the build together. We're going to still have to deal with the skills and the specialization, but we'll get to that in just a second. So without any mods equipped, we're now at, oh, it's got headshot damage. Oops. Hang on. I may have grabbed the wrong one. We may end up going with the Fenris one, so I'm going to grab that one out of here. But I thought... yeah, I think we're going to have to go focus instead of Grupo. Grupo would be my first choice. I'm not going to go farming for it. So you can already see we're at a point where it's... I wanted the additional chance without having to use a mod. So Grupo gives you 15% crit damage, which is very powerful. But this particular build, I modified the Obliterate, so I cannot change the 2 attributes. We've got headshot damage and crit damage. It's not the end of the world. It's just not the direction that I wanted to go. So we're going to replace that with the Fenris piece, which gives us assault rifle damage. So it's a trade-off between 15% crit damage and 10% assault rifle damage. It's the build with Grupo is a little bit more weapon agnostic. It doesn't really matter what you're using. This leans into the fact that we're running an assault rifle. So we are at 54% crit chance and 93% crit damage before we put any mods on. So let's put the mods on and see where we end up. Assuming I have any. Got a whole bunch of 10.5s. Yeah, that was one thing the stash did not have room for, was the mods that I needed. My stash is full. That was the limitation I was up against. So, we've got one that's close to perfect. We've got a 10.5. And we've got a 10.5. So we're now at 54 and 125.7. Very respectable numbers. 55% headshot damage. Not fantastic, but not that bad. As far as skills, when you're running Legendary, you want the ability to revive yourself. So we're going to throw a Revive Hive on. And I also like running the Crusader Shield so that I'm protecting my torso while I'm shooting from cover. That one, it's not really doing anything for it. This one has health. We could use duration, but that's only if we're going to throw it down. So really the only important one on here is the Reviver Armor Repair. That just boosts how much additional armor you get when you get back up. That's it in a nutshell. And then the shield is, we've got holstered regeneration, shield health, and active regeneration. So that's most of the build taken care of. As far as the pistol, it doesn't really matter. We're probably not going to use it. My preferred weapon would be the Orbit because of perfect finisher. So the last thing would be the specialization itself. And again, we've got some choices that we can make here. Gunner is going to max your DPS. Survivalist gives you protection from elites. So there's your trade-off. What do we think we need? My choice would be Gunner to increase the amount of DPS, and it gives you the survivability through armor on kill. So we get 10% armor on kill. Every third reload is 50% faster, so that aids with your DPS output. And your rate of fire increases by 5% on kill for 5 seconds. And you're generating ammo, which certainly does help. The last step in this is making sure that the weapons that you're using are the ones that you've activated in here. So we've got assault rifles, we've got shotguns, and we've got pistols. So that's pretty much the build in a nutshell and some of the things that you have to think about for heading in this particular direction. Hey, Garrick. Yeah, the whole time of the ADS, if you're using focus, definitely leads to a lot of exposure to fire, which is why I use the shield. And with a higher magnification scope, you're going to get behind full cover, and then you're just going to peek out enough that you can see what you're shooting at and shoot, and then duck back behind cover. So it's really about limiting your exposure by using the available cover. But there is a Strikers build that we could use for Legendary. If we had watch levels, we would be at cap, which means there are some different choices that we would make. Just that additional 10% crit chance means that I could take 10% crit chance off of the build, which is basically one of the attributes on my gear pieces. I think this was the one with crit chance. We could roll that over to crit damage, pull it back under the cap, put on 12% crit damage, and now all of a sudden we've got 10% from our watch and an additional 12%. So the crit damage would be that much higher. That's what I meant earlier by that is how or some of the decisions that you end up having to make. Hey, Valk. I didn't see that you were in there, Valk, because I'm blind. Yo, Valk. How's it going, man? So, anybody have any questions? Or let's run down to the range and see what kind of numbers we're generating. On my full character, this can hit. I've had it hit as high as 20 million with the World Unchallenging using the named target. I'm not going to hit that high. My guess is somewhere 14, 15 million DPS with these conditions. So, see the green in the center under the count? That's the striker stacks. And this is not hitting nearly as hard as I figured it would. It's not the end of the world, but it's nowhere near what my main character is going to put out with focus. It's not bad, it's just not where I thought it would be. So you can see we're hitting 9.7, close, pushing on 10 million damage, which you can do better than that, and that's sort of the point that I'm trying to make with this. If you run focus with a high magnification scope, and actually, let's see how much of a difference that makes. So I want to run the this particular firearm, but maybe we'll do better if we switch to a Police M4. So let's do that. And in that case, we have two options. We can run Grupo with focus, or we can run the Pristine Example with perfect focus. So we've got that one. And that one. So when we swap to the Police M4, we're going to want to run the CQBSS scope if we're going to use focus. We've got crit chance, and the big magazine. We are now at 44% crit chance, so we're going to need to make up some crit chance in the build. We're going to take the Fenris piece off, and we're going to throw on first the Grupo. Rude. Wrong one. Actually, I'm going to redo that because we're going to be switching that one back and forth. Let's try it as is and then see if we need to add crit chance. So we were at 9.7 million DPS under those conditions. So we're going to repeat the conditions. I wouldn't say that this is an absolute, that's how much DPS the build is doing. We're using it as a measure rather than an absolute. Striker stacks are up. So we're at 11.6 with that one, and let's see where we would be with the Pristine Example. So that one's headshot damage and crit damage, and that one is not. This is going to reduce our crit damage by 21 points, or no, it's more than that. It's 15 and 12. Oh, and it also reduces our crit chance because, yeah, we definitely need crit chance on the build now. So we're back to 44, but we're considerably less crit damage. But focus is better. Oop, no, wrong one. Coyotes is better for group play, but not everybody has coyotes. And we want named. So this is our best DPS so far. So we're at 13.5. This is the ballpark that I was expecting. Hang on for a second. I got a dog that can't manage to get up on a bed behind me. Hang on. And then grumbles at me because I lifted him. So as I said at the start of this, focus is better than obliterate for maximum damage, but you do expose yourself to fire, so you do need to know how to use the shield peak strategy to protect yourself while you're shooting. Do I have coyotes? Coyotes will buff the entire group, and it's probably your best choice, but again, not everybody has it, which is why I didn't throw it on initially, but let's have a look. This is going to decrease our crit chance again. We're down to 33%, so now we would have to shoot specifically at the 15 to 25 meter range to make sure that we're getting that additional 10% to take us back to 46%. When we're shooting close range or much further range, or for long range, we're going to get crit chance by 25%, but short range, it's all crit damage. So it leads to a lot of variability in the amount of damage that you're doing, is the unfortunate part of using coyotes. The advantage to it is it applies to everybody, depending on the range at which you're engaging your targets. So at 5 meters, and I don't think I put a mod in it, I did not. We're at max stacks. We have a much larger bonus to crit damage at this range, but we have less crit chance. So we're critting less often, but you can see the damage is approaching, or it's actually very close to what we were getting before. Now, if we start taking shots at longer range, you're going to actually see the DPS drop off slightly. We're going to be critting more often, but for less total damage. It's not a massive drop-off, but it is a drop-off. So, legendaries are a team sport. The way I would run this is actually the way we've got it set up now. I would probably make a couple of adjustments to the build or to the pieces to get this up into the 40s. It's going to sacrifice some crit damage, but those would be the design trade-offs or the piece trade-offs that I would make. I would roll that to crit chance, and then probably leave it as is, because that puts you at about 40%. And in most cases, you're going to be at about 50, or you're going to get the 25% additional crit damage from the short range buff. Now, having said that, if both of your DPS shooters have Coyote's Mask, these buffs can be active simultaneously, which means that you could have the 25% crit damage buff at the same time as the 10 and 10 buff, or the 25 buff. So it's possible to push both of your values higher and higher and higher, depending on where you're at. But that would be something that you would need to check with the other DPS shooter to see what they're running. If I was running this for solo heroic missions, I would run the Cheska piece. Shotgun attachments. What I've got on here is weapon handling and crit chance. They don't matter as much because it's all about the striker stacks as quickly as possible. And you can see even at that, the damage output is actually, at short range, quite high. Yep, didn't mean to do that. With the other build, it was higher, but you can see you're doing, 5.6 million DPS. But as soon as you switch to this, you can see how much quicker they were dying. And if I reset the counter, you can see the fairly big spike in the amount of total damage that you're getting just by switching to your assault rifle. So this is an assault rifle build. The shotgun is just there to get your striker stacks up. Having said that, this weapon fires fast enough. The rate of fire with this one, because of strikers, is 976. So the rate of fire is high enough that you can build stacks on the Chungas just by using your assault rifle, but you have to recognize that it happens slower. You saw with one mag 20 shots, I'm fully stacked. Right now we're at half stacks. 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's about 6 targets. A Chunga would last a lot longer than that. Let's take this up to an invulnerable. And I meant to have named. Damn it. If we go invulnerable, you can see how many magazines it would take, because that's a more realistic determination, because I'm not using a full magazine to kill the non-named. So there we're at half stacks. One magazine took us almost all the way up. So you're at full stacks on a Chunga in about 3 magazines. So it is certainly something that you can do without the shotgun. The shotgun just puts you into that high damage output area a lot faster. Yeah, you could absolutely use a better crit chance mod on the mask. And that would be, I don't have a max, but I've got a 5.7. Or sorry, a 5.3. So that's going to take the crit chance up that little tiny bit higher at the expense of additional crit damage. And there's a little bit of a balance that you have to play here. This is probably going to hit slightly harder with the Coyotes at short range, because we know that we're going to get that 25% buff from the mask. So again, get our stacks up. Switch to the assault rifle, reset the counter. And we're in the same ballpark as we were at before. Slightly higher. We're almost back to where we were before. So higher still, actually. So that is the better way to run it. So we're at 14.5. This is about where I figured that we were going to be. So, yeah, good shout. So let's resave this. Certainly a viable build. Again, not everybody has, because we're now using the strikers is easy to farm for or craft if you have them, but the Coyotes, you need to get that to drop. And then the Pristine Example, again, it's a named piece. It's not that rare, but yeah, it requires some farming to get it. So those are the pieces that I would go for. It's now on the chess piece. I moved it over there. There was a little bit of sleight of hand going on. It was, don't watch what I'm doing. Look over there instead. So we're actually running 2. So we've got a 5 or a 6 here and a 5.3 here. I do have more max ones on a couple of different characters. I could go looking for them, but it defeats the purpose at this point. So the other thing too is we can actually up our crit damage just slightly by switching to the 11.7. And again, we're now talking about min-max stuff, but it all does matter. So that would be the build that I would run for DPS. And you can see no watch levels. Yeah, my watch is high, but there's none applied to my watch itself. So that is no benefit of the watch. And you can still put together a build that's starting to crank out into the 14.5 million DPS range. Then the rest of it is learning how to play legendaries, which is just experience. And you get in with a team who has done them before, and they can guide you in that direction. So that's DPS. So that box is now checked. The next build is going to be a tank build. That one is a little bit harder to put together, and there's a couple of different ways to do it. The easiest would be Foundry Bulwark. I actually don't have any Foundry gear, so I'm going to go through the process of crafting what we need, and then we will work around that. Now, what we're going to want, as the tank, you got to think about what your role and responsibility is. Yes, you're there to absorb bullets. Absolutely. But you're also there to buff your team. That's primarily what a tank does. So I'm there to give my shooters bonus armor and increase their damage output. So how are we going to do that? And again, it comes down to picking the pieces that you're going to need for the chest and the backpack, and then going from there. So for the chest, again, it's a named piece, but you're going to want the Point Man. Or at least, now you could use Tardigrade. That is certainly an option. Tardigrade gives bonus armor when their armor breaks. Point Man is going to give, something with Vanguard is going to give them bonus armor whenever I pop my shield out. And let's find it real quick so that we can have a look at it. The advantage of Point Man, and that might not be the one that I want, but that might be the only one that we have. It is. So this one I'm going to have to recalibrate just slightly. It's not a perfect one, but we're going to want to grab that. Another option, if you don't have it, is a Bellstone piece, which gives you armor regen with Vanguard on it. So we're going to have a look at that one as well. The Bellstone piece with Intimidate sounds like it would be really cool. And the first time I put one of these builds together, this is what I was running. So it's crit chance and armor regen with an Intimidate. So when you have bonus armor, you do more damage. So that build was more designed for me to do more damage. But ultimately what you need in a tank build for legendaries is the ability to buff the rest of your team. So there's our chess pieces. What I'm going to do as well is I'm going to switch to Technician because I know in advance this is ultimately what I'm going to want. By the way, you notice that I didn't have to watch him pick up whatever it was. It's a little trick that when you're switching, if you push and release, you have to watch the animation, which is then skippable. So at that point, I can press and hold the skip. If you push and hold down in my case, it's the F key to activate and just keep it held down until the animation is over, that's it. That one is now active. The reason that I want Technician is I am going to want the Artificer Hive to buff my shield. And I know that in advance. So, chest piece. In this particular case, it's going to be Point Man. Another way to go as well, again, this would be more for personal survivability. If you're going to run a shotgun, would be the 0Fs because of Perfectly Unbreakable. But ultimately, that's not what we want. We want this one. So deploying a shield makes it invulnerable for 5 seconds, which definitely helps your personal survivability. It grants 50% of your armor as bonus armor to all other allies for 20 seconds, and then the cooldown is 25 seconds. So basically, every 25 seconds, I'm going to put my shield away and pop it right back out. So there's only going to be, if I'm doing my job correctly, there's only going to be 5 seconds, 10 seconds a minute, basically, where all my shooters don't have bonus armor. So that's that piece. The next piece is deciding what our chest piece is going to be, and I think I've already got it on it. We are ultimately going to want to run the setup is a really good choice in this, or something with opportunistic. So let's see what we've got in the stash. If I have a Bellstone piece with regular opportunistic, I'm probably going to run that instead for the armor regen. we're going to grab that one and compare. So we're going to end up using this piece. The other cool thing about the setup is it does give you 5% more armor, which again gives everybody more bonus armor, basically. So we've got these two. This one, I think we're going to... No, that's Creeping Death. Wrong one. I'm going to leave this one alone. I am going to grab that mod, though. I'm going to re-roll that to armor regen. That's why I didn't touch the other one, because it was basically a perfect piece. And I'm going to see if we can optimize... No. So with this piece, perfectly opportunistic, gives us enemies you hit take 15% more damage from all sources for 5 seconds if I use a marksman or a shotgun. So we're definitely going to use a shotgun, and you probably know which shotgun we're going to use. Let's see if I already have it on me. Probably the best shotgun in the game for helping to control crowds. And again, we're going to do... If I can get those 8 shots off before I have to pop my shield, or while my shield is down, everybody gets the ability to do more damage as well. So if I don't run Scorpio, I'm going to run any old shotgun because this is... When they changed his pathing to run across here, it's just... Is it just me, or does that piss everybody off? So anyway. What other shotguns do we have? That would be a really cool choice for a different shotgun to run. If you want to run Liberty. And the reason that you might want to run Liberty... Actually, let's fire that one on. Oh, I know he is. He's just... And they changed his pathing, so if you're at that, it bumps you out of your menu. So why would I want to run Liberty? Its talent will help. So hits grant plus 2% weapon damage, stacks up to 30 times. Headshots consume all stacks, repairing your shield for 3% per stack. So if I'm at max stacks, that's 90% of my shield health repaired just by popping a headshot after taking a whole bunch of body shots. So this is typically what I end up running is the Liberty, and most of what I'm going to be doing is with the Liberty. I'm just running the shotgun so that when my shield is down, I'm going to take a couple of shotgun shots just to buff everybody, the team damage, and then we'll go from there. The other gun that you can run in this particular case is a marksman rifle, and you actually want a quick firing marksman rifle that's not an exotic if you have such a beast. And that would actually be the Surplus SVD. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but again, the point of this build is not to do damage. It's to increase everybody else's damage. And I'm just going to lean into stability just to get that up slightly so that it's a better shooting platform between shots, basically. So I'm not worried about the stats. It is there solely to proc opportunistic. That's all it's there for. Similarly, so is the shotgun. And for this one, I'm just going to lean into probably weapon handling and reload speed. I think this one has fast hands, so that's certainly going to help. Yeah, this one has fast hands. So our reload speed is 2.5 seconds, which is actually not bad for a pump gun. I've only got 5 shots, though, so it's mostly about getting off a shot or 2, then popping the shield back up and running the Liberty. So that's that taken care of. The rest of these pieces There's two ways to go here. We could run Foundry to get the rest of the armor that we're going to need, or you're going to run a piece of Bellstone, probably 2 pieces of Golan, and the Murakami named knee pads to give you more armor regen. That's the way my tank build is set up. So we're actually going to set it up both ways. I do have 1 piece of Foundry. I'm just seeing what I happen to have on me here. Yuzina is also an interesting choice because of the total armor benefit. But it doesn't give you the inherent armor regen that the other pieces would give you. So there's 1 piece of Golan. We may not have the pieces we're going to need to do what I wanted to do, so I might be abandoning this idea. Here's another thought. I'm going to make a slight change here. I'm going to run the Forge. I think that's the wrong one. I thought I had a Forge rolled to... Yeah, it is that one. Okay. And... I hope this is here, but I don't think it is. So I've actually got a couple of the Murakami named knee pads. And I don't know if they're in here or not. So there's one with a skill tier. There's one with armor regen, and repair skills, which isn't a bad choice. And that one's got weapon handling. So we're going to go with that one. So these are a DZ exclusive. Now almost all of the ones that I've gotten have either come from DZ credits at the vendors for the DZ vendors, and most of them have actually come from named item caches for doing the global events. The cool thing about those named item caches is they can give you any named item in the game, including the DZ exclusives. So I've actually got one. It's on my raid character that the secondary attribute is armor regen. So it's got 1% armor regen and then a max armor regen roll right under it. So it's quite cool. This also gives a skill duration, which helps with the shield. And the repair skills are the artificer drones that I think they're helping out with that, but I'm not positive on that. So the Forge has armor, shield, health, and repair skills. And then the last piece that we need here, I ultimately want Bellstone for here, and I don't know that I have it. And if I don't, I'm going to show you a trick. We're going to use these. Improvised gloves are your next best choice. So what the improvised gloves, and you can craft these, you can craft any piece of armor as improvised. What it does is it doesn't give you a brand set bonus. Instead, it gives you the ability to run another mod, basically, instead. So you can pick your brand set bonus, basically. This one happens to have armor from elites. It's got explosive resistance, armor regen, and protection from elites. So we're now at 1.7 million armor because I have the wrong mask on here. Do I have a Bellstone mask? Apparently I do not. Let's see if we can craft it real quick.
Please remember to switch off and unplug all electronic devices that
Anything I can do for you?
So what I'm looking for is hazard protection's not bad. I can roll. I want first I would want explosive resistance because the White Tusk chuck a lot of explosives at you. So hazard protection is good. Explosive resistance is better. So we are not going to trash this one. We're going to see what else we get. That might be our choice. And then I'm going to re-roll the red attribute. This one is not going to be kept. Re-roll that to armor regen so that we've got a little bit more armor regeneration on the build. That one is not as good. I'm going to roll 5, and then we're going to run with whatever one is the best. This one has armor regen, and repair skills, but they're all low rolls. And I don't want to spend all evening optimizing stuff here, so we're going to go with our best bang for our buck, basically. That's 4. And one more. All right, so the one that we created the first time is the one we're going to use. Did I trash it? Or did I... No. Oh, man. I can't. There's no way. I didn't trash it. It's showing... Oh, there it is. I'm blind. Crisis averted. So we're at 1.8 million armor. We want that to be armor regen. And we are going to want protection from elites mods where possible. And again, that's just to help protect us from exactly that. That's the improvised gloves. It's a Bellstone chest. And I don't think I have another one available. So this one's going to be, I think, armor on kill, which is not great, but it... So we've got 1, 2, 3... See if we have one in the stash. I don't think I do. No mods. So we're going to have a quick look through. There's one right there. Now, Catharsis would be another option. Now that I think about it. Because that, you know what? Let's run Catharsis instead. So that gives us 1.8 million armor. Catharsis gives us incoming repairs, armor regen, and then a protection from elites mod. But it also, as we take damage, every once in a while it's going to release that green cloud that's going to heal me and anybody else that happens to be in it. It's also increasing my weapon damage as I take damage. The shield's going to be absorbing most of it, but the other option, like I said, is the Bellstone piece because that gives you the brand set bonus of armor regen. Let's just see the difference between where we are at here. So our armor regen right now is 33,000 per second. And if we go Bellstone, we're at 51. Now we're going to go Bellstone. I want the armor regen. So we've got 4 protection from elite mods at 12%. So we've got 48% protection from elites. So we've got decent armor regen. We've got 1.8 million armor. We've got 48% protection from elites, and we have 10% explosive resistance, which is not that fantastic. And 8.7% hazard protection, which again is not that fantastic. You would want those to be much higher. And with watch levels applied, we could increase that hazard protection immediately.
I agree.
But now, as far as the skills, this time we want the Artificer Hive and the Big Shield. because we're gonna want to completely protect ourselves and hide out behind it. So we still get shield health, active regen, and shield health. Perfect. Now the shield itself is a tier 6 shield. It's got 14.7 million health. And the Artificer Hive to repair it as we're going. With the Artificer Hive, it will repair my shield just clipped to my belt. I don't have to drop it on the ground. So, and I've got a bunch of comments here. So, yeah, this is the way we're going to run it. So this is one way to put a tank build together. I'm going to save that. This is a very viable one, and you can see that, you know, it mostly came out of my stash. I had to craft the Bellstone piece. Catharsis is an option if you want to run that instead. It does all right, and I think one of my builds actually has that, but I don't need 2 of these, so I'm going to pop that back. But yeah, that's one way to do it. The other way would be 4 pieces of Foundry Bulwark. What that's going to do is give us 10% addition total armor, 1% armor regen, and 50% shield health. So your health is that much better. And part of the reason the shield health is so high is because of the forge. So what we're going to lose is 50% shield health to give us 50% shield health. So it's the same basically, but you've also got makeshift repairs. When you or your shield take damage, 20% of that amount is repaired to both over 15 seconds. So you've got additional regen. Now, the pieces that we're building, most people will have these. I've got all of the blueprints because I've done the Iron Horse raid twice, or more than twice, but I've done the Iron Horse raid, so I've opened up the chest piece and the backpack. But we should have the ability, we do have the ability to make all these pieces, so we're going to make them just as a contrast and comparison. There's one piece. So we want the shield, the gloves, and we're going to accept what we get, and then re-roll them to armor regen. Unless it's terrible armor. And I should be hitting space on that to equip it automatically. Let's see if we can do better. Because again, I don't want to spend all evening close enough. I am going to fix these up at some point, but we are at the same amount of armor. We should have the same general... where was I going with that? Shield health, but let's actually throw armor regen on all of those. And then see where we end up. You could do a mix of armor regen and explosive resistance. I'm going to do 2 of them and then see where we're at, basically. We'll play that one somewhat by ear. That's the other thing that I do a lot when I'm putting a build together is I check my stats to see where I'm at. So we're at 32,000 armor regen. So we're not going to come close. We're only at 24% protection from elites because they're not all equipped. So I need to go back and re-equip. I'm only going to be at 36% with doing it this way. So it's not quite as good. I'm just going to run armor regen all the way around. Actually, no. I'm going to back out of that and make that explosive resistance. And I'm out of cash. F word. So we're going to stick with that. And I think we're done until... Damn it. Unless I have any watch levels I can spend, and I don't think I do. I should have been looking at that before the start of the evening. All right, so we are at 37,000 armor regen. I can sell that one piece that I made by accident.
Stock, but if you need to craft something, I can help you out.
And I'm not selling them. I'm marking them as favorites, which removes them from the list. Let's see if we can do... I don't think that was enough to do the last piece. It was not. So we'll come back and redo that at some point. But that would be another way to put this a tank build together. It's more or less the same. It's just approached slightly differently. We're running the same 2 chest pieces, but then we've got Foundry Bulwark all the way around. If these were maxed out, this should be very close to 2 million armor. So it actually has slightly more armor. The shield is at the same amount of health, and it's got the same buff. My preference on this would be to actually go with the piecemeal piece that we put together first and not use the Foundry Bulwark. But this is the easier way to do it because there's less to go looking for. Always the money problems. Yeah, story of my life. All right, so from a loadout perspective, we've got a skill build, we've got DPS, we've got 2 different tank builds. The last build that we need to throw together for this would be a healer build, and that's primarily what I'm going to run tonight, interspersed with a tank. So the healer build is actually going to use okay, so I'm hoping I have all the pieces for this because I no longer have the cash to build what I need. So, and that's not good. So to do Legendary, we might not be running it on this character tonight. We might be running it on a different character. Because ultimately, now let's see what we have. First and foremost, you want BTSU data gloves. You want Future Initiative if you have it. And I don't know that I've got all the pieces. I don't think I do. Yeah, I'm gonna pivot here slightly. Anyway, let's see how much of this we can put together, and I can at least show you sort of the way this is supposed to work. So, with a 4-piece Future Initiative, that gives you repair skills, skill haste, and skill direction, and then it gives you ground control. It increases you and your allies' total weapon and skill damage by 15% while I'm at full armor. When you repair an ally, you and your allies within 5 meters are also repaired for 60% of that amount. By using the backpack, that increases the ground control proximity repair to 120%. And I think the way I'm going to manage this is I'm actually going to steal... I think I've got the Future Initiative pieces on one of my other characters. So bear with me for 1 second. I'm going to double check that. I think it's on my raid character, and if it's not, I can build the new pieces with my mule character because it has cash. Because I'm not completely without the ability to do what I need to do. It's just going to be a little more roundabout way of doing it. And there's also the stash issue. So we're gonna have to trade some stuff in and out of the stash.
Safe area detected.
Yep. All right. So this is definitely what we're going to do. Let's see how much room we have in the stash. I'm going to equip this. Okay, we've got room in the stash. So easiest way to do this quickly is if I click on healer in the options, we can actually send it to the stash. And I don't know if it's a bug or a feature, but I have to always do that more than once. But now all of the pieces of this build from the weapon perspective are in my stash. So if I come in here and look in the masks, there should be a future initiative mask in here now, and there is. So, all right. Don't loadouts. I want escape, logout. Yeah, if I had all night and wasn't streaming, basically what I would do is build the pieces on my mule character, because that one I just ran through Warlords of New York, and it has, at this point, 2,600 scavenging points that I can spend for cash, making things, getting more resources, etc., etc. So that would be how I would do it, and I would optimize it as we went along. So this one is your max healer build, so it's already put together, which is kind of cheaty, but so it was that. It was an Alps backpack with opportunistic. It was the body armor. The holster. Not Eclipse, future initiative. And the knee pads. So, we go. Eclipse Protocol. It's not Eclipse Protocol. I'm having a senior moment, apparently. Have I gone completely blind? Here it is. I grabbed all my Eclipse Protocol stuff instead of future initiative. All right, so there's my healer build. So it's 4 pieces. I didn't run the backpack in this particular case. I went with Alps Summit instead because I happen to have it, which gives us plus 20% repair skills. It gives us opportunistic. So I'm going to be shooting with Scorpio to do, well, I'm not healing people. I'm going to be shooting so that it buffs everybody's team damage. So I've got a shotgun and a marksman rifle equipped, so I can buff everybody's damage. Again, I'm not there, so I'm there to heal, and I'm there to buff the team damage. So it's the Alps piece, and then we've got the 4 pieces. So we've got ground control, which we've already talked about, the 4-piece bonus. We've got plus 30 repair skills, skill haste, and skill direction, which duration, which are definitely going to help. And then the backpack, it increases ground control damage bonus from plus 15 to plus 25. So again, this is buffing team damage. That's the intention behind this one. This is more of a damage support build. On this one, I'm going to want the reinforcer, not fire starter, reinforcer. And on this one, I'm going to want the healer hive. And the reason for the BTSU data gloves, and I think I've got better ones in the stash. Are for the transference overclock. It grants plus 15% hive skill haste per skill tier, and it's a 6 skill tier build. Detonating a hive refreshes your skill cooldowns and grants overcharge for 15 seconds. The cool thing about this is the overcharge. If I've got some people on the team, that's just, excuse my language, but that's just fucking annoying. So if I've got people on my team who have had to use their revive hive, if I overcharge, they get their charges back. So I can basically refresh everybody's hives after every room or as required as we're playing. And it gives me my hive back really fast when I do it that way. You'll see the levels of it tick up. It's basically it's 15-ish seconds, and you're good to go. Now, it's 120 seconds, 2 minutes between my abilities to overcharge and reset cooldowns. But like I said, after every room, I can detonate my hive, and we manage it from there. So my job with this build is to do damage with Scorpio to help control the crowds a little bit, but it's to put the hive down in a spot where I know my shooters are going to be so that they're protected, and then use this to help heal my tanker or my tank and myself, and spot heal others as required. So this build is mostly about watching your teammates and putting yourself in a position where you're not getting hurt, and then doing damage when you need to help buff the team. With opportunistic, it's 5 seconds. So every 5 seconds-ish, you should fire a shot into an enemy, because that just helps buff everybody else's damage. And that would be this build in a nutshell. So we're going to want to save that one. Now, I didn't really talk about in this particular case, Technician will work if we spec out of skill damage and into skill healing. So this is certainly something we can spec into. Better choice is probably Survivalist. And that's the one we're going to spec into. So this does, and I haven't put any points in any of this yet. I've not ever used it. So we are going to want shotgun. That's LMGs. We're going to want shotguns. We've got marksman rifles, and we've got pistols. And then you'll notice I only go to 155. I don't care to have another copy of the Survivalist D50 anywhere on my cluttering up my my stash or on my person. So I don't usually bother putting the points into that pistol. But so with Survivalist, it's 15% increase outgoing healing, which is ultimately what we're after. I could get 10% skill healing with the Technician, but that's not as good as this. I get 10% increased protection from elites, which is going to help me out as we're going through this. Group members get 10% bonus damage to targets with status effects. Hold that thought. If I perform a cover-to-cover move, I gain armor. While in cover, gain 10% skill haste. Again, I'm going to be playing from cover, and I do need skill haste. So those are the major benefits of this. Let's go back to this. Group members get 10% bonus damage to targets with status effects. I'm running Scorpio. I'm status affecting people as I'm shooting at them, which also procs opportunistic. And also by going to Technician, I get the fire grenade, the incendiary grenade. So I can flame choke points very, very easily and increase everybody's damage, basically, is that in a nutshell. So, but the primary source of my status effects is going to be the Scorpio, because your first shot is poison, your sixth shot is shock, And then, like I said, if I can get the 7 shots on, targets take an additional 20% damage from all sources. So where possible, every 5 seconds-ish, I'm going to be emptying my gun into somebody. But it's not my primary job. So again, and this is what I'm going to be running tonight when we go do that, do the legendary. So that's a skill build. I'm going to resave that. And all of these already had skill haste mods on it, so I didn't have to add them. Repair skill mods. That's more important, is to max out your repair skills than it is to have additional skill haste on a build like this. So yeah, Garrick, my mule, my 4th character. So my 3 characters as you progress across is my main, this character, which is my secondary, which I use for YouTube stuff. My 3rd is the one that I use for raids, because I didn't have enough loadout space on my main, is basically what it came down to. So it's exactly that. My 4th slot, I do a weekly-ish run through Warlords of New York for the scavenging points on the watch, because that allows me to, even something simple like I'm running low of now I'm having a brain fart and I can't think of what it is. I meant to go to resources. Let's say that I'm running low of receiver components. Well, the easiest way to get them is take a full stack of cash on my mule, come over here. Pistols are your cheapest. So just buy as many pistols as $500,000 buys, because that's a full stack from my watch, and then break them all down. That gives me about 2,600 receiver components. So if I'm optimizing or applying expertise to things, that's the quickest way to get them. Similarly, if I'm working on specific pieces, I will search around and find the cheapest backpack or chest piece or whatever it happens to be, buy a whole bunch of those to get the protective fabric. So the other thing too to bear in mind is, if I know, for example, that I'm going to be optimizing a chest piece, I'm going to buy a bunch of chest pieces, because that gives me the chest words. They're not easy. It gives me the these things. And more importantly, these things, the weave, chest weave. That's the word I was looking for. So like I said, in this particular case, instead of having to craft the chest weave, I'm just going to buy a whole bunch of chest pieces with the cash that character has on it, so that I've got the chest weave. And it also gives me protective fabric, which I can use as well. So that's the most efficient way I have found for optimization, is to have a mule character that I run through New York, and then I use them up, and once they're done, spit them out basically, and run another one through. One thing that I haven't really talked about on these streams is the imperative of running level 3 and level 4 control points to get all of your crafting blueprints, because in the optimization, once you've maxed out you'll get, I can make field recon data bundles. It costs me resources. Same with the SHD calibration. I can make them. It's just a matter of resources. But I can make all of these alloys. I can make all the piece weaves, but I can also make the tactical assessments as required. So again, if you have the resources from the scavenging points from a character you've run through New York, and you have all of the blueprints, it becomes very, very easy. And the higher your watch gets, the easier it gets. So you get eventually to a certain point where it becomes quite easy. It's just a matter of getting there. But I can't stress that enough, that, you know, if you don't know what to do while you're playing, like it's like, well, do I go after resource convoys or do I do control points? Well, if you haven't maxed out your blueprint library, you should be doing control points. And really all you need is a build powerful enough to take on challenging quickly. So skill builds are awesome for that. Heartbreaker is awesome for that. the build that we put together at the start of this, the Strikers build, if you craft a couple of pieces, I'm just going to throw the Strikers build back on for a second. You'll notice that a couple of my Strikers pieces that I have here, I've actually rolled to armor because I got them to drop with crit chance or crit damage. So now all of a sudden I've got a higher survival, a Strikers build with higher survivability because it's got armor. And then you run the Gunner class so that you get armor on kill, and now it makes farming very, very easy. The other elephant in the room that I have not addressed is this bad boy for solo running. It is best in slot, pretty much hands down, bar none, end of discussion, if you're doing a lot of farming and running around, because once you're fully stacked, you've got additional weapon damage, you've got bonus armor and skill efficiency from your short-term buffs, but from your long-term buffs, you've got weapon damage, skill efficiency, and armor regen, and that's 3% armor regen. It's 30% skill efficiency and 30% additional weapon damage. So in most cases, your backpack talent of choice is going to give you about the same or slightly less total weapon damage that other than when you get into amplified damage, then it starts to be a little bit of a trade-off. But Memento is if you're going to be doing farming, that's your go-to. You're going to want that, and then you build around that. So what I would do for this Strikers build, if I was doing this as a farming build, is I would put Memento on here, swap some pieces out, and then just go from there. Probably I would run Memento, Cheska, and then 4 pieces. And that's real easy to throw together. And then adjust your armor to a sweet spot that works for you. And what I find for me is if I'm doing challenging, it's about 1.1 million armor, where I really don't have to think about it anymore. And if I'm doing heroic, it's 1.3 million armor. Sorry, 1.1 and 1.3, somewhere in that range. The other thing is Heartbreaker. Heartbreaker with Memento, you're not unkillable, but it's really truly a no-brainer. You just run around and shoot shit, basically. So I'm going to take a bio break. When we come back, we're going to go run the legendary. I'm going to run it with this character, with this build, and we'll see how far we get. That's it in a nutshell. That's the plan. So, like I said, I'm going to take 2-3 minutes, call it 3. And when we come back, we're going to run District Union on her legendary. So we'll see you very shortly. Hey, everybody, we're back. One thing I forgot to do while we were here is talk about the, the skill build that I threw on here. And I'm going to actually make a slight modification to this. So I'm going to spec over to the Demolitionist class.
Three pieces of clothing back to back. What the hell?
So, what the hell? I'm not very smart sometimes. We want the artillery turret there. And we want the jammer pulse there. And then we're going to save that one. It's the loadout. All right. So by having a skill build with the mortar turret and this, I have the ability to control crowds. And I forgot to talk about that. The important part is switching to the demolitionist. Jesus Christ. So that you get the artillery turret, because that is actually a very powerful crowd controlling tool. So I'm throwing this in here just in case we need it. It is, in terms of the build, it's my standard template for high DPS skill builds. It's 2 pieces of Hannah U, because that gives you the brand set bonus of skill haste and skill damage. Everything is rolled skill damage and skill haste to the best of my knowledge. This is the second piece of Hannah U. It has perfect combined arms. Shooting an enemy increases total skill damage by 30% for 3 seconds. So I can add to the amount of damage that we're doing. Chest piece is Empress, and it has kinetic momentum. That should be skill haste, and those should be skill haste as well. So give me 1 second. Now I'm going to save that as a loadout. So, and then it's 3 pieces of Empress International with kinetic momentum on the chest piece. Because again, with the brown sight, you get skill health, skill damage, and skill efficiency. And then the last piece should be Wyvern, and it is, which gives you skill damage. So this 2 pieces Hannah U, 3 pieces of Empress, and 1 piece of Wyvern maxes your skill output in terms of damage. And then you put skill, basically skill haste and skill damage everywhere. So what that gives us is skill tier 6. Sorry, I've got Discord talking in my ear and it's distracting. Apologies, but I did mute it so we all don't have to listen to it, so you can actually hear what I'm saying. The turret is a 6 skill tier. Its cooldown is 8.8 seconds, so I'm going to have the ability to almost continuously bombard the enemies and keep them at arm's reach if we need that for some of the rooms. So in some of these rooms, I may end up switching from a heal, or I may plan going in to switch from a healer to crowd control, just to keep everyone at arm's reach. And then the pulse has a 13.2 second cooldown. It can be argued that hardwired is better because you have 2 usable skills and you can go back and forth between the 2 of them once every 20 seconds, but this is not too bad. So I'll have the ability to break or disable doggos and kill the incoming drones. So again, if we're in one of the rooms that has a lot of drone controllers, this is exactly what we would do.
This changes everything.
Cypher, are you finishing up your run?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Just about done.
As am I.
Yes, skill damage and skill tier in this particular case is going to do more for us. I mean, I could probably replace the Wyvern with a piece of China Light to increase the explosive damage.
Gonna do some cleanup and then I'll swap back over to my main.
You know, it's a trade-off. I'm just going to stick to skill damage in this particular case. Basically, I'm converting a normal... I have always called this build my flexible skill build because your skills of use are completely and totally flexible. Same with your specializations. You can run any... Because it's 6 skill tiers built into the gear pieces, so you can run any specialization you want, and you can run any skills you want, and it does very well at it. It's not perfect, but it does very, very well, so it's a flexible skill build. Grupo explosive damage, it's, like I said, it's... I do have a Grupo piece somewhere, and I forget which piece it is, that's... it had everything I wanted, so I rolled it to a skill tier. So that does increase your explosive damage, your status effects, all that sort of stuff. But I find better utility out of a build like this because, you know, I could save this with a couple of different specializations. It's the same build with different specializations and different skills and just swap them out as we go into different rooms. And I've done that in the summit, knowing in advance, okay, we're going to want to do this instead. We're going to want to do this instead. But this is an important build to have in your arsenal. Basically what I've done is I've just turned this person into a utility player. So I'm going to name these so that we know what the hell they are.
Excuse me. All right.
Bless you.
Thank you.
So now I know what they are at a quick glance. I've always renamed my loadouts to something that made sense to me instead of leaving them what they are, so I don't have to guess.
Lord. Oh, I got a fully maxed out swap chain.
All right, guys, I am back and good to go when you are. I've got my healer built, put together, and it's not a bodged together one. It's actually the healer build that I had on my raid character, so it's fully maxed.
I always forget you can switch stuff between characters.
Yep.
Just need a minute here.
Should I start my watch?
You could. Literally, I'm just about done.
And as a total aside, not that I'm a massive geek, but I'm a massive geek, so I end up wearing a smartwatch.
Ran another guy through New York.
Fitbit, and I don't know how well you'll be able to see that, but
That
my
sounds
watch face is
depressing.
actually...
You're
Well,
bad.
It's not
Yeah.
going to focus for me, but you can...
Started out
It's
this morning, so intermittently on and off.
Yeah.
it's very close to the watch in game. It's actually it's a face that someone designed. I mean, I had to pay for it. It was a whole $1.50, but I've got a keener watch basically on my wrist. Not that I'm a massive geek, but yes, I am. And a child at heart.
Man, it's been a minute since I've tanked. Should be
Yeah.
interesting.
Orange ring and then
You're
blue
gonna be
text, and it's
immaculate,
just
bro.
like, and it's actually completely
Yeah, whatever,
customizable in terms of how the colors and
Yeah.
the faces go. So it was actually kind of cool.
I got none but faith.
That would be cool, Garrick. I mean, apparently there is actually a watch that you can purchase. It came with one of they made a high-end set for the DVD for this game that included a watch and a book and all kinds of other stuff. So, you can actually buy an SHD watch, apparently. You guys good to go?
Just about. Yeah. I'm
So
chilling.
Jedi, I'm going to let you organize this room by room in terms of what you want me to play. I've got crowd control, I've got healer, I've got tank, I've got DPS. So you tell me what you want me to run for each room. But I'll start with healer. Apparently Jedi is AFK, so I'm gonna
No,
throw
I'm
beat
here. I'm sleepy.
It's
No
all right.
problem.
My
go
doctor
get some-
started me on Lyrica.
Okay. Yeah,
And,
say no more.
Yeah.
See, I think I may just be young, but I don't know what that is.
Well, I have rampant diabetes type 2, which produces really bad nerve pain in my extremities.
I'm sorry to hear that. That sucks.
More in my feet and my legs than my hands, thankfully. Lyrica is supposed to try to control that to a moderate degree, because nothing else I've tried works. And I am bringing my numbers back down to what normal people have, but I'm still
For
at
blood
least
sugar?
Yeah, I'm still at least a year away from actually
Yeah.
controlling my numbers.
Sugar, rampant sugar in your bloodstream. I mean, if you look at it under a microscope, it looks like shards of glass. And that's the reason you end up with extremity issues, is because it's damaging all the small capillaries in your extremities. It's just, yeah.
Is it reversible?
It is up to a point. I caught it in time, thankfully, but I didn't apply straight insulin right off the bat when I should have. I tried to do it through pill form with metformin and some other things that didn't really work for me. But I'm doing insulin injections now, and it's bringing it down pretty good.
Yeah, one of my best friends, his first daughter had juvenile diabetes, so she ended up on a pump. And the things that they ended up having, like somebody has to check in on her every 2 hours all night long. And, you know, so she's sleeping, but they have to go in and check her blood. Juvenile diabetes is a death sentence. It's just how long you're going to survive.
Damn.
Yeah, it's gross. So how about you, Cypher? You good to go?
I am ready.
Get
All right.
your ass in here.
Come on in.
About to go through hell. I feel like this one won't be bad compared to the last week's and the week prior.
District Union is my favorite legendary. It's the one that's the best set up to speedrun, but it's also in some ways the hardest. Certain rooms are brutal.
Well, that's any of them on legendary.
Yeah. All right, Cypher, Jedi, it's your show, but let's be off.
Well, I'm not sure if I'm the right choice to be running this, because I'm really groggy.
Okay. Back me up on the choices for each room. Like for this one, I think we definitely need a healer, not crowd control.
Yeah. Because this area is so open and chaotic. CC doesn't really do it unless two people are doing it.
Yeah.
So a matter of just letting them come to us again.
Yeah. Except at one point, like there's there's the initial wave, there's sort of a secondary wave, and then if possible, before the helicopters show up, we actually want to get into the doorway where we enter in and do the last of it from that cover.
Gotcha.
So your priority in this first area are the controllers, the people that have the Wi-Fi symbol, and then the mobile tanks. You want to shoot out the treads, make them immobile, and then grenadiers and medics after that. Moving up.
Yep.
Hive's down temporarily.
Oh.
Try not to stand right in front of them.
I don't know if I got the tread on that one.
First wave is down to 2. Try to push in. Down to 1. Here's the chopper.
Head to the door.
Gonna put a Banshee pulse on the first one. Hitting now. Good job. Here's the second chopper. These are the Chungas. Try to stay at range.
Gotcha.
Open up on them as soon as you see them.
Yeah. Shoot their backpacks as a priority. One's down.
Took out his chain.
Good.
Not bad.
All right. Next room consists of a whole metric fuck ton initially. Once we clear that out, there's 2 guys that are going to drop support stations.
At least.
There are also grenadiers in this. Once we clear that off and proceed forward, then we're going to get 2 or 3 Chungas. I think it's 3 Chungas.
Lovely.
Try not to go too far forward.
Yeah, basically, if you don't know where the spawn limits are, don't push forward.
On you, Cypher.
Alright, here we go.
By the way, they're when I do the navigator link on them, that allows you guys to do more damage. Like it does the perk for you guys, right? Like your damage splits between the people I have tagged.
Sports Station 1 is down.
Follow Cypher.
Be prepared to back up after the last guy's downed.
I'm not even gonna push up. Oh, I got fixed. I'm gonna back up a little bit.
Go, 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 go.
Alright.
Clearly, I'm
kill
not
me?
doing my job.
Oh, never mind.
Okay, breather.
Lots of Chungus.
Yep.
Yeah.
I wasn't keeping an eye on my hive. The hive broke, and then everybody went down.
No worries.
I'm gonna throw out and then detonate my hive so that you guys get your hives back.
Got
That should overcharge everybody.
Yep, I'm chilling. Got my hive.
Now the next room, I forget. There will be somebody on the minigun,
Okay.
but it's a mixed bag. I don't think there's any Chungas initially, and in fact, I think the Chungas are right at the very end of the rush, or is it dogs?
I'm not sure if there's a dog or not.
Would
I
rather
know
gonna stick
there's
with the
at
healer.
least 2 Chungas.
I'm good.
All right,
Pretty much
I'm gonna leave the hive back here.
what you want to do is peek around this first barrier here.
So, okay, so don't go in. Just stay here, right here.
Alright.
Hive's down.
You just quick
Yeah, no.
scoped me.
Okay, that's the first wave.
Hold fast for a second. I'm waiting for the hive to come back.
Hob, you see where Cypher's at now? At the stationary gun there.
Yeah.
It's not the barrier right past him, but the one after that, which is the trigger line for the second wave here.
Okay.
So that one right there.
If you're ever coming in here with a pickup group, if you go
All right, we're
past
good
that
to go.
line before everybody's ready, they will tear you a new one.
All right, we're good.
Ready, Cypher.
All that went after me.
Immediate medical assistance needed.
Shotgun on the left right here.
If you can see the drone controller, Cypher, he's probably someone you should focus.
The drone is to the guys to the right. I think.
Another Goldie drone controller coming in.
Everyone should have their hives back.
Yep.
Yes.
What piece of gear that you have on it's doing that?
It's overcharged through the BTSU data gloves when I detonate my hive.
Oh.
But so that's where you know how you say I keep getting them and I don't know what to
Yeah.
do with them? This.
Gotcha.
So this room is 2 dogs, a Goldie and a purple.
I can hear them. I can see them. I don't like it.
Hives back out.
I'm just gonna go right through this last door, spin myself, and tank.
Ow, wowza.
Focus the purple down.
I'm trying to tag them both.
Purple's down. Since we're dealing mostly with robotics, I would suggest that you use something besides the pestilence.
Like what?
You're running an LMG build?
Well, I'm running this plus a navigator set.
Yeah. What's a navigator set?
Negotiator
Negotiators?
set.
Oh,
That's my
okay.
fault.
Something high RPM with crit chance already on the weapon is what I would recommend.
I'll just put
Because
Elmo on then.
the
Yeah,
negotiator set
Elmo's perfect.
functions off of crit chance. You have to
Alright.
crit on your target to mark them so that they all share the damage.
1 second.
So don't focus anyone in particular. Get as many as you mark.
Yeah, that's what
get,
I was
get a
doing
bunch.
with it.
Perfect. Yeah, mark a bunch and then focus on somebody until they're down, and then mark somebody else and move on like that.
And this is a little bit difficult.
Yep, this one can be a bit of a cluster. If we have to come back into here and choke them through the door, we will.
Try not to get too spread out.
Yep, the hive's down. It's
Yeah.
right beside Cypher. So keep an eye on the green area on the floor. That's your safe zone. If you guys want to push, let me know and I'll move it up.
Gotcha.
You guys are ready?
Yep. Gold controller right. Focus that. Good job. Right tank is down. Purple dog coming in. Purple dog down.
There's another drone controller in the back that I cannot see. Second purple dog.
Take out the drones before they get to you.
Good. Let's move up one.
Hives down. Hives down.
Solid.
Right through here, we need to push to the far counter and get behind it.
This counter or
Back here.
This one here.
Back here.
oh yeah, because they
And-
spawn right there.
Yeah.
All right.
Go ahead and set up.
Will we have to watch this back alley, back doorway here?
No.
No.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Good.
Nice job, Cypher. That was nice tanking.
Yep.
Thank you, thank you.
You're getting a lot better.
Thanks, man.
There's ammo here if anyone needs it.
Now, this is what I regard as the halfway point. You
Mm.
can perform well up to this point here. It's actually the 1/3 point. But this next room is usually make or break for most
Yeah.
groups.
There's a bunch of counters inside the room. You're not going to go past that, and our fallback position is behind the counter over here if we need to.
Okay.
So if you hear fall back, just
Fall back.
vamoose. Yeah, exactly. Don't ask questions. It's kind of like if you're in an airplane and you hear the pilot say eject, eject, eject. If you ask questions after that, you're talking to yourself.
I like that.
Healer left. Healer down.
Yeah, they're all linked up. Chungo. 2 chungos.
An agent needs assistance.
Is our left arm popped on the right chungo? Solid.
You should have your hive back, Jedi.
Yes.
All right, this room is again, I think it's 2 or 3 chungas that are going to push in. There's a lot of stuff that happens. I don't remember everything that's in this room, but we want to basically choke them into this doorway where possible.
Okay. So stay here.
Yeah, basically.
This is
We
the
have-
one here. This is your first line of retreat.
Okay.
And then your second line of retreat is where we fought everything else from back there.
Yeah. Try not to let them come past the first line.
Mm.
Remember to focus their backpacks. That's where the stinger's coming from.
Yep.
On you, Cypher.
Damn drift pushing me forward.
Chunga.
Heal station's down.
I'll light them up.
Push in. This next one's a little tricky. They're going to spawn to the right at a 90-degree angle.
So again, if we have to retreat, we retreat.
Gotcha.
Set.
Set.
I'm chilling.
On you, Cypher.
Damn it. Ready? Tags. Tags. Grenade.
I don't know where this damn support station is.
Behind the bar.
Okay, seems to be down now. Good.
Hive down. Overcharge if anyone needs it.
Good. Marine Super 90.
Yeah, this pill is really kicking my ass.
Yeah. Yeah, I can hear it in your voice. I'm not seeing it in your performance, though.
Just on autopilot right now.
Yeah, I hear that. So the next room, the courtyard, is a fucking pain in the ass. There are three chungas or two? There's two for
Three
certain.
and 3 dogs.
And if we get pushed back in here, the doors behind us close. If we get pushed all the way back into here, we're in deep shit.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
we'll retreat here if we need to. We don't want to get spread out. You want to stay near where the hive is. So I guess basically it's, we want to fight it from the tea room immediately to our left. So we're all going to go in there, up the stairs. Cypher's going to watch the stairs, and you guys are going to shoot, basically.
Yep. First fallback will be at the bottom of the stairs. Second fallback is in here.
Yep.
Following y'all.
All right. I'm ammoed up. I'm good to go.
Okay, go immediately left up the stairs.
Good to go, Cypher.
Go.
Vital signs critical.
How the
Alright,
fuck?
I see the grenade launcher guy. He's just spamming me though.
One of their guys came up and blindsided me.
Yeah.
Agent down.
The one shooting nades into the room is far left.
Yeah, I see him.
He is just not giving up on me.
An agent
I got you.
assistance.
Oh, never mind.
Watch that right side.
Now the grenade launcher's probably the worst part of this.
Serious trauma detected.
I think he's down. There's 2 drone controllers that I can see, and there's a sniper turret up top, or sniper doggo, or track.
Current on the same level as us, but on their side is basically down.
Fucking
Alright.
tank NBA bounced that shit off the ceiling to get to me.
It's got a bombardier coming up towards you. Or grenadier.
Last grenade going out.
Alright. Alright.
Abby, if you can get your hive to Jedi, that would help.
I'm at 72 for a cooldown. I got down by the one of the grenade launchers off rip.
How
I'm
about
gonna
now?
Back out.
Resistance.
Chunga coming down. Take out those 2 guys immediately.
Vital signs critical.
One dead. Both dead.
Good. Now
Chungo.
focus the backpack. Stun him if you can.
Agent.
Fuck. I think we're fucked.
Why is that not reviving him? That's okay.
Agent vital signs.
You may want to
Back
retreat.
out, back out, back out.
The other one's right there. All right.
Agent down.
Cypher, I don't know if you're going to be able to get anybody up, but that would be your priority if you can. If you can get Jedi up. Or is that too deep? Is Jedi in too deep for you to get up?
That come down.
Don't push. Try and fight him from range and heal.
Red right in front. Right as I had my stun round.
An agent needs assistance.
Congo is slowly walking up. You should have enough time.
I think everybody's down.
Yeah.
You've got your objective. Don't let anything stand in your way.
Yep.
What a game.
I think on that room when we get there again, I don't know if you're going to make it Cypher or Jedi, but I probably want to go crowd control to keep them at arm's reach.
That's one of the worst DPS rooms. So
Yeah.
we're gonna need the heals.
Okay.
My major mistake was pushing to get that grenadier
Yeah.
and ignoring the 19 other guys that were surrounding me.
The worst part is my heal arrived within a nanosecond of that grenade arriving that killed you. I couldn't out heal it.
Okay.
Well, it's not-
Not sure what just happened there.
Yeah, I'm confused. It says you guys are right in front of me, but I don't see no one. Like it just threw me into a loading in.
Try to come all the way back out to this
Just
first
gonna-
burn car.
I'm just gonna fast travel to you. Let's see if that does anything.
I got sent to a safe house.
I don't know what the hell just happened.
I'm just gonna
Me either.
leave group and then rejoin. So it says you guys are all together. Directives deactivated. Did we have a directive active just now?
Yes.
Are we in my world?
I'm not sure.
No, we're in Jedi's.
Yeah, it says I'm still owner.
A clan member has joined your team.
That was the weirdest ever.
And I'm on
Yes.
challenging with the directive right now.
Does a directive carry into the mission or no?
Not unless you set it on the mission.
Oh, I don't usually have directives on, so I have no clue. Oh, had I not gotten my grenade shoved down my throat right there, I could have used my revive on you when you were pushed up. Ugh.
No, it is what it is. We made it further than I thought we were going to make it on the first go. So
No,
let's try again.
yeah, we'll get it done this time.
Actually, let's take a quick bio right here.
Okay. Not a bad idea. All right, everybody. I will be right back.
Back in 5.
And we will try this one more time. Hey everyone, I'm back.
Yeah, welcome back.
I never left. Last night I ended up getting a Imperial Dynasty to drop. It seems like a funky piece of equipment. Just setting fire to people as they get close.
Yep.
Detected. Nearby location. Guarded by hostiles.
Actually, let me teleport to operations real quick.
Garrick, yes, it is. So with in my case, I can do 4 a week.
I'm back.
Now, having said that,
been
if I'm doing a
nice.
character a week through, we're down a member temporarily. Ran back to the boo just to.
I already
think
changed
get-
what I did. I'm coming.
So yeah,
I put on that shotgun I got last round. That's Marine Super 90 because it had extra damage to shocked targets. So just pair it with
Right.
Elmo. That and it has every stat is maxed on it just automatically, and it has swap speed on it, so it kind of works with it. Damage to armor, shotgun damage, and that. It doesn't have perfected Thunderstrike, but I mean 30. It's not much of a difference. I think.
Y'all ready?
ready.
Okay, let's do this.
Hey, we cleared enough that we don't have to fight this area, guys.
Or do we make it to the?
Yeah, or we need to
Fair point.
reset.
I think we have to reset because the mission is an act. Oh,
Do we
that's
have to
funny.
reset?
Yeah, it's still showing challenging.
No, that's showing heroic on the board. Oh, but up for us.
It says completed out here.
You might have to just click replay on it on the other difficulty.
Or we just go back inside, see what happens.
Fuck was that? No, it kicked us all the way out.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Good to go, Jedi, when you were for the reset?
Looks like it's done. Yeah.
You've got your objective. Don't let anything stand in your way.
I don't see no enemies though.
Oh, they're here.
Oh, now I see them. I was looking for them up top. I got grenade launcher above you suppressed.
Moving up.
Moving with you.
Hive's down.
Oh, the
Helicopter
helicopter
incoming.
already. Yeah. Oh, why'd it put me up here? Ooh.
Probably the only useful placement for a flame turret.
Yeah, I've been changing it throughout.
Second chopper.
All right, you're tagged. You're tagged. You're all tagged. All right. Oh, I keep forgetting I'm on gunner. I should have been using my foam grenades last round. I didn't even think of that.
I think I'd offer a disclaimer that I believe I'm unfit to be a group mate right now.
Doing more work than me.
It's kind of just reflex at this point. Walk it off, yeah, okay.
It's headshotted. See, sure.
Hive's down. Everyone be careful.
Yep.
It's not at full charge, but it'll help.
Trying to keep them all stun locked with the LMO.
Ready.
Ready.
Ready. Oh. The sniper ain't peeking.
Clear.
There you go. Yep. And then you said, don't go past right here, I think.
Yeah, initially.
So does anybody know the puzzle that unlocks this strong box? It's supposed to be
Yeah.
right here.
I was just wondering, I'm seeing it on my mini map. I wasn't sure what it was.
Because as far as I know, it's right behind this gate right here. But I don't know any way to open that gate.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, started.
I was just about to ask too if that was on this floor or not, but
Guys, ready?
yep.
Immediate medical assistance needed.
That was the fastest 3 grenades I've ever seen.
Oh, that
Just
ammo
boom,
box
boom,
is
boom.
up top.
Anybody
What's
need
that,
an
guys?
overcharge for their hives?
Nope.
Nah. Pins and needles in my wrist. I'm good.
Just waiting on Cypher.
What I usually do is form a C with the opposite hand that's feeling pins and needles. Form a C and come from the outside to the inside around your wrist and sort of roll it back and forth. So
Well,
That's
hearing
what-
about it got me to go away, so.
that's the best way I can describe what I do for that.
All right, I'm
Sorry,
good.
I'm
Ready?
probably slurring real bad.
No, you're not at all. At least I'm not hearing it. Dog walking up in our room.
It's probably going to take out the hive. No, it did not.
Wow.
That's surprising. Alright.
Fucking sniper.
I tried suppressing them, but Alright, we're pushing up on you. I don't have a shotgun war with another shotgunner. Oh, did it? Can I pick that back up? I don't think I can. Alright, that counted as my reset. Thank you.
Yep.
Surprised it wouldn't let me pick it up. Maybe because I was being picked up by it and then the thing ended.
Guys ready?
Yep.
Did that reset your hive?
Yes. Yes. I'm
Cool.
good.
Go, go, go.
Yeah, this one. Actually, put the. Alright, full ammo. This is the room where you go left, right?
No. This is the one behind the counters.
Okay.
Guys ready?
Oh yeah, yeah, I'm good.
Ready?
Good to go.
Medic's down.
What the hell?
Fucking floor
What was-
scooting.
You saw? All right. I'm not tripping then, because I stunned him.
NPC God mode again.
Ridiculous. Oh, I'm dead. Oh, I'm chilling. Although I need to back up though. Yeah, that's crazy. I've never seen them do that before.
Broke his belt.
I can't even throw a grenade at this angle.
Damn, that was nasty.
Yeah, that was fugly.
I blame it all on Homeboy scooting through that electricity.
And while he's scooting, he shot me.
Yeah, and then we
Shot us
got two
both.
behind us. Yeah. All right. So again, line 1, and then the counter's line 2.
Got it. Following your lead. Throw that. Oh, that sniper is gonna already being a pain.
Agent down.
Alright, I'm gonna back up.
Oh shit, Cypher! I didn't realize you were in trouble.
Yeah, that's right. Oh. Retreat. And regroup.
Mm-hmm. They should get stuck in foam. There you go. Not for long. Jeez. Thank you. That revives quick, my goodness.
Yeah, Hive's way faster.
Dang. Alright, yeah, my cooldown's on for another 100 sec. Never mind. It's like,
We don't need no stinking cooldowns.
nope, I like that. That's cool. Make me want to start using my BTSU gloves. My 17th pair. I'm
guys
ready.
ready?
Good to go.
Can you shoot flamethrower? Thank you. What I like about the flamethrower, it does the negotiator's tag. Oh, fucking Genos. Oh.
Hive is down. Just be careful, everyone. Hive's back out.
Ooh, nice and green.
Hive's down.
Yeah, the one in the back isn't peak. Oh, there we go. Now they're linked. Alright.
And now Hell Room.
How long's the cooldown when you use the BTSU, like doing the overcharge thing to like refresh?
Every 2 minutes.
2 minutes. Okay.
Every
Makes sense. If it was anything lower, that'd be broken.
Yeah.
Guys ready? Doing the U-turn.
Ready as we're gonna be.
Doing the U-turn
Yeah,
at the
we're-
stairs, right?
Yep.
Yes.
All right, here we go. You know when you guys are in place? Oh, I guess you're in place.
It wasn't me.
Shooter above.
Yeah. About to... Alright, I'm gonna scoot over. I don't have any eyes over here.
Vital signs
Wow.
critical.
I got you. Come to me.
Function.
Hold on.
Agent
I'm just gonna-
deceased.
It's gonna take a second, but
Oh, I fucking hate that rubber banding when I'm trying to cover.
Agent
Wow, one grenade, huh?
they're coming up the stairs, I think.
detected.
No.
Alright, heal. Good. Actually, you know what? How far can I reach? Not far at all. One went upstairs to the 3rd floor. Alright, I'm coming down with you guys.
My shield's taking a minute to get down. Oh.
An agent needs assistance.
That turret is almost dead. The tread that is exposed is able to take the damage.
Top shooter's down.
No reason you can map me that far with a shotgun. It's crazy. That purple's almost dead in front of you. He's suppressed. But he's essentially one shot. He's dead.
Down.
Upstairs.
It's another.
You are not getting past
Oh, yeah. One above, one below.
that. Yeah, and they're both at the escalator now. I don't really have an eye
There's
on.
only 2 charges left on the hive, and I've no more charges on the
Give me a second, Jedi. I can freeze one of them.
Hive's down.
Alright, he's going to the 3rd floor. Kind of. I'm not complaining with that. Other one's pushing on me. I'm running downstairs for a second. Ooh.
Okay, I'm about to spin this chung up here, guys.
And I'm with you. I froze him. Briefly. I'm demolishing his backpack. Keep it going. Just
Bottom
keep it up,
chunk is
keep it
down.
up, keep it up. All set. Good stuff.
One after the grenadier.
Damn. 2 dogs.
Shit,
Damn.
fuck.
Shit.
Coming up.
Yeah, I'd say that's serious.
Oh, the dog is on me. Oh, Lord. I'm going down to that hive real quick so I can take some of those heals.
Behind you, Jedi.
Upper dogs out. Let's
Yep.
take care of that bottom one.
Hive's down.
Motherfucker, are you shocked or not? One grenadier down.
Yep, I just took one down. I don't have
And
eyes on
here
the
goes
dog.
the bottom dog.
Did the Chungus that go up the stairs die?
Yeah, they're
I
dead.
believe so.
Okay.
Fucking thing just keeps dodging back and forth behind that fucking pillar.
Yeah, I definitely prefer this when they all come out of the one door. Ooh, a striker's mask with 3 reds. Okay.
I tell you, I felt just about useless in that room.
No, not at all.
Nah, man. That's if anything, that's how I felt. Freaking, I don't know if I'm putting out damage at all. All I know is I see them die, and that's all that matters.
I don't even know if I'm fucking conscious right now. Shit.
Well,
You'll
your
go
lips
to
are
bed
moving.
soon.
See if we can get through the garage, or the kitchen rather. I guess the kitchen's next, or is it
No,
the
it's
garage?
garage.
All right.
What the hell?
That was a good trick. How'd you do that?
Magic, I guess. Jeez. All right, this is be good for my.
That was nice and quick.
Eh. Lord, 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 Lord.
And this next room can get fugly.
Security room.
Yeah, it's the second part of the garage.
Hmm. I'll let the flannels take the lead.
This one we want to play to the back and let them come to us, but they're gonna be chucking drones at us the whole friggin' time.
Is there a way we can stay right here, or will this door have
No.
to close?
This is closed and we get
Oh.
pushed in.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I got my flame turret ready to stop them
for it.
from pushing hard.
The big challenge on this is getting taken out the drone controllers.
Yeah.
If I can, would it be good to sneak left? Got you, Cypher. I gotta move though.
Turrets or the drones down. Oh, God, try that in English. Hive is down. Back out.
Oh, I got something.
force the other drone controller out. Oh, she's back in.
Trying to get a feel for what's going on. Guy's not getting aggroed by that at all. Bastard.
Yeah, you were too far out, Habby.
I just
I
don't
don't know
understand
that I
why
can
my
get you.
flamethrower wasn't stunning the dudes at all. Well, not stunning them, but making them at least stay stationary briefly. That's what I was banking on there. Thank you. Alright, I got rid of their healing thing.
Fugly, but I'll take it.
Yep.
That was my bad.
Oh, we get you back up. It's all good, bro.
Can't rely on the fire at all.
No.
Like, I'm seeing the damage numbers tick, but they're just running through it like it doesn't matter.
Welcome to Legendary.
Yeah.
Jokey.
And now the nasty.
Yeah, there's
There will
at least
be
three
dogs
doggos.
that come out
Yep.
and circle around us. You won't be able to do anything except try and take cover.
Yep.
Try to focus the purples first.
Well, to the left of my ammo, those orange bars, does that signify how close my exotic perk is to procking, or?
No, that's your specialty ammo.
Oh. I was gonna say, maybe I can try to stun them off rip, but...
Well, there is no purple this time.
Oh no.
All golds.
Oh.
Did not realize there was a sniper one.
Oh, by the way.
Sniper's down. Which exploded into another one, and the second
Yeah, and
one's
it
down.
just unlocked it. I'm taking it down now. Alright, I finished off one.
Good. Now the humans come in. Surprise, you're stunned.
Double, let my fire burn them too. I like that the fire gets the negotiator's perk procking.
Chunga.
Alright.
Stuns on cooldown. Going to the back to
That's
try
alright,
to clean that up.
I can keep
Never
them
mind.
from moving Actually, no, that was my last foam grenade.
And Banshee.
I'm keeping them both L mode.
One down. Both down.
Yep.
Good, we're clear. That's much better.
Mm.
Okay, so now it's just the final room. When the boss comes out, there's two things you got to worry about him. One is he does an area of effect attack that will nuke you if you're not behind cover. Secondly, he can't be damaged until we've taken out his backpack.
Okay.
Now, when we first go in, he doesn't spawn immediately. There's going to be 2 snipers in the mid area,
Water tower.
mid water tower at the back. They must be taken out because they're the ones that are gonna fuck us up if we don't get rid of them quick.
Yep, because they have the high ground.
All
You
right.
guys are ready.
Follow
Ready?
your lead.
Yep.
Shit, lost my shield altogether.
Not understanding how the sniper can even see me, and I can't. Oh, never mind. I see where he
Aimbot.
is.
That's how.
It's like Call of Duty. I stunned the grenade. Alright, yeah.
Yellow's
What do you
down.
call him? The Grenadier? I have him, Cypher. You're good.
Purple's down.
Thank you.
Both snipers down.
There's another red sniper on the
Yeah,
ground. There's
I'm
one
ready to pop him when he peeks.
grenadier on the water tower.
Good.
Dead.
Okay, wave 1 down.
Alright, let me come up with
Regroup
you.
for wave 2. Nice. I love it when TNT goes up. Two more snipers. Red 1 down.
Stunned him.
Take the
Alright,
yellow
what-
1 down. Wave 3.
Ouch. Alright. Gotta heal, gotta heal.
Shit. Sorry, Jedi.
It's okay. I was being
Alright.
reckless. Here comes,
Here comes the boss.
Yep.
Get away from him. Remember, focus the backpack.
Are we too close up here, or?
No, we're good here.
Usually half
Okay.
the room is good.
It's all about his backpack, though.
Okay. Mop up the ads.
One more yellow on that other side.
Got him.
Alright, he's getting a little bit closer to us.
Got him. Okay. Should be nothing
Oh.
but the boss.
Alright, now I know what you meant. By that damage. If I can get him to be...
Who's got his threat?
I still have it.
Okay.
I just don't have a shield yet.
Working on his backpack. Damn backpack has more
I'm down.
than he does.
Serious trauma detected. Agent down.
I think I have his aggro up here.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
do
I
now.
do.
I had it until I lost my shield.
He's casting.
Immediate medical assistance needed. An agent.
I dodge his attack and then I get melted by him. Ugh. He's going.
Serious trauma detected.
I can't even tell if his backpack's down yet.
He's still healing from it, so I don't think so. He is now. I'm seeing damage numbers.
Can you toss me a heal over here at the front corner?
Actually, I'm glad you just said that so I can heal myself.
Thank you.
I just healed you, Happy.
Thank you.
Banshee coming in. Ammo belts down. Foam grenade on him.
Lighten up his bag.
Out of ammo.
Yeah, I've only got 25 rounds left. I'm going for ammo.
If I can get him stunned, I can kind of go in on his head with my shotgun.
Banshee coming in. Banshee does nothing to him.
That's for sure.
See if I
Maybe
can get
some
him back out
fire.
here in the open.
No. I'm heading up top so I can have high ground. I'm almost out of ammo though.
Go get some more. At the front.
Alright, I'm good. It's nice that it doesn't close that door.
Right next to you, mate. So much for the health damage theory.
Man, it's a serious tank.
When I grow up, I want a tank as good as aggro.
Hmm.
Almost there.
Yep.
Nice.
Alright.
Nice job, guys.
Ugh.
Good patience.
Thanks for sticking it out, Jedi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah, right on. That was a nice run.
I got the operator's hat, which is, I think, the last of the white tusk pieces I needed.
That's what I got, and my exotic catch gave me a vile mask. Immaculate.
Nice.
Where do you see the cosmetic parts?
They're various, but it's the operator stuff. They're purple, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Operator. I got a capacitor if anybody needs that.
Not for for meat.
I don't know what that is.
Take a look at
Then
it.
you probably need it.
Just take a look at it up here.
I'll look at it in a second. I'm just looking to this. Something.
See it at the front?
The flannel. Garrick just called us the flannel brigade, the elite unit within the unit.
Oh, it's an exotic. I don't know why I was thinking it was a piece of armor.
No, it's for skill builds. It's wicked.
Actually,
with a skill
hold
build.
on. There, I have to emote in front of 3 people apparently.
Wow, I wasn't terrible with accuracy on my pistol, at least.
I
I
don't
accidentally
understand
didn't
those
get to-
numbers.
What
Okay,
was my
so
damage? Because I can't see. I accidentally clicked to not.
It goes to 2.5 billion and then resets. So you are at 4.2 billion damage, I think.
All I know is that mine says negative 1746 and hobby says negative 1889, but yet
So
the
add
stars on
two.
mine.
Or no, then it counts backwards. Or
Oh, closer to 0. Okay.
Yeah,
Integers. I hate them.
yeah, exactly. All I know is I had low score on the damage.
No,
I got 9 kills.
Wait,
Yeah, nice heals, though.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Good
paying
heals, no
attention.
kills, man. That's the way it goes.
Holy
Oh.
shit, 1.1 billion healed.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, that's the SMG. No, it's an assault rifle. That's weird. Shooting.
I
Oh, it's that
think-
gun. Okay.
It goes to
Cool.
2.5
I like how
billion,
this game,
and then
if
it
it's an
resets and
exotic
starts
SMG, it
counting
just
in the
turns into
opposite
an assault
direction.
rifle.
I don't have that one, Jedi. I gotta put it on.
That's cool.
So it goes all the way up to 2.5 resets and then counts back down with the negative in front of it. So it would be 2.5 billion plus whatever the difference is between that and 2.5 billion. And I'm tired, so math is not going to, it's not going to happen.
My emote ability really sucks being stoned like this. Fuck. How are these monitors inside here still functional?
Magic.
PFM.
Haha, yeah. Well, lads, I do believe I'm gonna call it a night and crash.
All right,
Have a
man.
good
Nice.
night, buddy.
You have a good night, man.
What time is it? Yeah, I'm not far behind you. It's midnight here. So.
Yeah, 10
11,
p.m.
11 for me.
Thank you very much for the group.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
that was a lot of fun. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, good fun.
All right, y'all have a good one. I'll see you
You
later.
too.
Good night, guys.
Adios. Have a good night, buddy.
I'm gonna log out of chat, guys. So
Roger that.
I will catch you. I'm on my way to the old place tomorrow morning, so I'm gonna be offline until Sunday night.
All right.
All right, man. Good luck. How much more you got to
Yeah.
wrap up?
Well, now it's everybody's favorite part, tape and crack fill of one small. Well, it's a small-ish room. It's the laundry room, basically. I got all the taping done last weekend before it. I gave up because I was on call last weekend and the phone just kept ringing and ringing and ringing. So basically, I got to do the the base coat, let it dry, sand, and hopefully then it's just a skim and I'm done, and then prime it, and then they can come in and put in the trim.
Roger that. Good, man. You're getting there.
Yep, and that's the last room. The only other thing other than that, I think, is an air exchanger, and then my wife gets back from her trip on Wednesday, and hopefully next weekend after that we're just back cleaning, and then it's on the market.
Do you have someone? Oh, you have some that so you don't have to come down every time someone wants to look at it and prep like that.
No, exactly. It because the house is essentially empty. It's going to be a little bit of a negotiation. You know, are we going to bring someone in to stage it, or is it just going to get sold as is? And I don't know.
You know, quite
So-
frankly, I got to tell you the truth of the matter is, I'd like to see a house empty.
So do I, but I think we're the anomaly, not the norm.
Yeah, you're probably right. We probably are the anomaly. I just feel when they fill a house up, they're hiding shit.
All right, I'm going to log. I might catch you in the morning if you're on, and after that, I will see you Sunday night.
Roger, guys. Good night, guys. I'm out of here too.
Yeah, as am I.
So we're just going to sort through what we've got real quick, and then I'll wrap up. Hang on. And then if anybody has any questions about any of the builds that I threw together, and I realize it was more of a targeted build thing rather than a whole, this is how I put builds together, but hopefully it was enough walking you through the sort of the process and the thought process behind putting the builds together that it was enough to kind of get you going in that direction. Or get you going thinking along those lines. Actually, those are better than what I've got on this character. Yeah, I completely understand, Garrick. Oh, hang on. Yeah, basically, it's in a lot of cases, builds come down to compromises. It's a matter of deciding, you know, what weapon do you want to use, or even before that, what range do you want to play from. I typically like the ranges that an assault rifle offers. I don't. Shotguns are all right, especially the Scorpio, just because of it is what it is. I mean, it hits and does its thing at almost all ranges, so it's a little bit on the different side. But I typically I don't favor SMGs and shotguns in general. Assault rifles are my thing. I'm also getting more and more into the sniping, so I tend to like the, short, medium, out range. And that's mostly by default from my previous gaming life, where it was more sniping than anything else. So the range you want to play from is going to inform what weapon you want to use. And then the weapon itself is going to inform, what kind of talents you need to buff it. And then it's a question of, as an example, I didn't put together a negotiator's build, but if I had put together a negotiator's build, it's all about crit. So you have to hit the cap, or push it as close as you possibly can to the cap without going over. Yeah, absolutely, Garrick. LMGs are... I've used them. I've actually got a decent blue screen build, I think. I'm still tweaking it, but that's just such an odd duck, even in the LMG world. The pestilence is what it is. That again, it's an odd duck because crit doesn't matter. It's all about weapon damage, so that you can get the ticks, because the ticks are based off of the weapon damage itself. It's understanding what the build needs and then building toward that, and then understanding the talents and how they're going to interact with what it is you want to do. Is it solo play or is it group play? Because group play is completely different, because it's mostly about synergies with the rest of your team. You need to provide buffs to everybody, which is why I was doing so much shooting. I was being a poor medic in some cases because I was too busy shooting to give them the damage buffs. I'm getting better, but I'm not a great healer. Because I tend to focus more on the enemies than my team, my squad, if you will. You guys all probably noticed, but one of the things that I have done with this is on purpose, I've used one of the colorblind modes so that I can see where the hives are. So in settings, accessibility, and then color blind mode, go to Tritanopia. It by default is none. So it's the second one over. This impacts the colors the least. They're still odd, but what it does is when you have a hive on the ground or a grenade on the ground, you can see, or when there's incoming rounds, actually, you can see them on the ground with a great big bullseye, basically. So when I put my hive out, see that great big white circle? That's the green range that's really hard to see without the colorblind mode. So the colorblind mode is really, really helpful. And I forgot to mention it to my teammates. But you can very quickly tell that this whole way across here, I'm within range of that hive. So that's another way you can help your own gameplay, is by utilizing what the game provides you with the colorblind mode, which is why some of, when you're watching my videos and you see colors for for greens and reds and blues, they're skewed slightly compared to normal, and it's because of the mode that I'm choosing to use. But it's similar when I throw a grenade, if I have any left. You can see the aiming circle. That's what's creating that, and that's the colorblind mode. So it's just, instead of just seeing the red haze, or in the case of a healing hive, the green haze, it's very, very easy to determine what it is that's out there. So that's of benefit to everybody. I don't know what the other two do and how they interact with which colors and which colorblind modes they're there to help with. I just know that Tritanopia affects the colors the least for those of us who are not colorblind, but still gives you that cross hatching on the floor. But yeah, group play is different because it's all about synergizing with your team, providing buffs where you can, which is why this build has opportunistic, and I'm using the Scorpio. It's why I'm choosing to use survivalist, so that my teammates do 10% bonus to damage with status effects, which I hadn't told Habibi about that beforehand, but that flame turret was actually buffing everybody. So anyway, all food for thought. This is, I think, something that I'm going to do a little bit more often with the streaming, is talk about putting builds together, because once you've wrapped your head completely around it the sky's the limit with what your imagination can put together, basically within the confines of the available equipment within the game itself. So we did put together 1, 2, 3, 4 builds, DPS, 2 tanks, and a healer. And I talked, this flex skill build is a build that I'm not pushing it on people, and I didn't run it at all. I ran healer the whole time. But with this build, you can twist it in any direction you need to based on the content you're playing, which is really, really cool, which is why I've named it Flex Skill Build. And actually, to be honest, that name came from another content creator who hasn't been playing in a while, but it's I Am Fox. He named it that, and this is where I got the original template from to put the build together. So credit where credit's due. But this build is awesome because you can run it with the regular turret and the drone, and there's your there's your sort of meta damage skill build. You can use it like this to do a little bit of crowd control, start using the mortar turret. Where it suffers a little bit, and the advantage of Hardwire for as a drone killer is with Hardwire, with the feedback loop, whenever you use or cancel a skill, the other skill's cooldown is automatically reduced by 30 seconds while increasing total skill damage and repair by 10% for 20 seconds. And then the backpack and the chest piece buff that further. But this is very powerful for the one-use type skills, like a Pulse, like Blinder Firefly as an example. Those two synergize pretty well together. So all food for thought. But this is something, again, that I plan on doing a little bit more. Probably, I don't want to fall into a complete habit, but probably the next time I do something like this will be a week from now with the next Thursday nights. Stream. Good Lord, I'm tired. So, as far as the streams that are upcoming, I'm playing. Monday is a holiday for us. Our national birthday is Saturday, July 1st. The actual bank holiday, if you want to call it that, is Monday. So I'm playing the weekend a little bit by ear. There's stuff I need to get accomplished before I come back here to work on Tuesday. My plan is to be done and be back here Sunday night to stream. But that's work dependent. If I'm not going to be streaming Sunday night, it'll be Monday night. But I'll throw something up on my channel in the where I make the announcements in that section of the of my YouTube channel. So tentatively, it'll be the same stream schedule as this week. It'll be Sunday night, Tuesday night, Thursday night next week. Work interfered, unfortunately, with getting any content out, and now I'm basically out of time. If I can, tomorrow morning, I'm going to see if I can get something recorded. I don't know if I'll get it edited and out the door before I have to, because tomorrow morning I am working for a couple of hours, so I like I said, chances are probably not, so that'll be pushed to next week, but that's sort of the plan, the tentative roadmap for the next week or so. Things are going to get better in terms of time because we're eventually going to have that other place. And when I say we, I mean my wife and I have the other place on the market and then hopefully quickly sold. So I don't have to do this back and forth thing anymore because there's stuff that needs doing around this property that is being neglected because of the other property. So, but yeah, that's it in a nutshell. No idea what we're going to do on Sunday night at this point, but we'll do something. And then the Tuesday night is fairly typically because it's the reset, it's the invaded missions, and whatever else happens to be going on from the reset for that week's global events and stuff like that. So, yeah. I think that's everything I wanted to say. So it's Agent Meat signing off. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. For my American friends, if I don't talk to you before, happy July 4th. Enjoy your national birthday, and we will catch you guys next week. Take care, everybody.